Alright, so I've got some baseball news to talk about with you guys today. We got some interesting stuff. Not a lot of moves being made. I mean, the offseason's pretty much over. You saw my offseason's grade video. If you didn't, go check it out on the channel. But today we've got some Christian Yelich news, signing a new contract with the Milwaukee Brewers. That is great news for Brewers fans. Congratulations. You're going to have Christian Yelich for a long time. You also got some injury news with Chris Sale. The Yankees are getting injured all over the place. Is Aaron Judge going to be ready for opening day? The Indians are having trouble. Everybody seems to be having injury trouble right now. Trevor Bauer's doing some crazy things out on the field. There's a lot to talk about today, but before I do get going into it, make sure to leave a like on the video, guys, if you do enjoy it. That's the best way to support the channel. Subscribe if you're new and you do enjoy this content. Click that sub button. Join the team. Like 50% of you who watch this aren't subscribed. Click that sub button. Remember to get in the comment section down below. What's your opinions on the new Christian Yelich contract, on all the injuries going on in spring training? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. Always talking baseball over there. And if you want to buy any tickets to any sporting events, make sure to head on over to SeatGeek. Use the code GIRAFFE. Save yourself $20 off your first purchase. I feel like the lighting should look a little bit better. Still trying to figure out the exact, warmth, I guess is how you describe it. But it should look better. Shout out to Elgato for the key lights. But let's actually start to talk about baseball now. And the big thing that I drew you into this video with, the title of the video, is going to be about Christian Yelich getting paid by the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter and all over the place talking about how Christian Yelich took no money. He took a hometown discount, even though he's not from Milwaukee. They got him dirt cheap, and I actually got to agree with them. This seems like a really, really cheap contract for Christian Yelich, but also at the same time, the dude just got $200 million. $200 million to play baseball for the rest of his life. I think he's going to be more than happy. Plus, knowing the Milwaukee Brewers, you know you're not going to get a big contract from them. This is the biggest contract that they've given out in their history of the organization. If Christian Yelich wants to be able to not only get paid, but also have the good players around him so they can make a better winning team, I think he understands that he couldn't take like a $35 million contract, probably not even a $30 million contract, because when you break down this current contract that he just got, it's really, really cheap. So for the next 2 seasons, he was still technically under contract with the Milwaukee Brewers. 2 years, $26.5 million is what's owed to him. This contract extension goes on to that. So it's not like the contract starts now. They're still finishing out the 2 for 26.5, but then he has 7 years, $190 million coming at him. That's a lot of money. Total value, though, for his contract with the Brewers, though, throughout his time is going to be $215 million for those 9 seasons. So if you take that 215 divided by 9, that comes out to just under $24 million a year with the extension and the previously made contract. You then take the 190 divided by 7, because that's really what the new contract is, and Christian Yelich is making a lot more a year, closer to what you probably thought he should make, which is $27 million, just above it. Also, they can tear up his $15 million club option for 2022 and add a mutual option for 2029. That's a little bit more confusing to me, but basically all you need to know is that Christian Yelich is going to be a Milwaukee Brewer for a very long time. He's not going anywhere, and if you're a Milwaukee Brewers fan, you have to be pumped. This is not an organization that spends money. Like I said, this is the biggest contract that they've ever given out. Prior to this, it was Ryan Braun's $105 million contract extension, which is crazy to think about because that is not a lot of money in the terms of baseball and contracts. That's actually kind of towards the middle range. This is awesome for Christian Yelich because now he has that money, he has that security, he's not playing for another contract anymore. He knows where he's going to be for the next 9 years of his career. I think that'll take him to his 36, 37-year-old season, so pretty much to the end of his career, unless he wants to play until his 40s, which is a possibility, but even then, it looks like this guy might retire as a Brewer. Probably will go down as one of the better Brewer players of all time as well. And if he can keep up the insane production that he's had the last 2 seasons with Milwaukee and continue that for at least another 3 or 4 years, which is asking a lot because he's playing at an MVP type level, but if he remains one of the top 10 players in the league for the next 3 or 4 years, this contract is way worth it. Let alone if he just plays a good career for the next 9 years, this contract is way worth it, because again, at only $27 million a year, at what's going to be the absolute highest you pay him, that is an absolute bargain for what you're getting in Christian Yelich. Now, yes, he's not a 5-tool player like a Mookie Betts, like a Mike Trout, but he plays great offense, and his defense can be better. It's just that he's had some injuries here and there, and I think once you get him healthy, you'll see him play better out in the outfield, but you don't care about that with Christian Yelich. You want him to step up to the plate, get his 500 at-bats, hit 40 homers, have an OPS above 1,000, batting average above 300, driving in runs, stealing bases. This is the guy who stole 30 bases last year. He's pretty close to a complete player as you can get, and despite him not necessarily being that great in the field, he's still one of the top 5 players in all of baseball. Absolute stud. Great contract by the Brewers. Honestly, not a bad contract by Christian Yelich either. $27 million a year. Sign me up. Where do I go? It's not like the Ozzy Albies contract where he's getting screwed completely. But yeah, overall, love this deal from both sides. That's a good job by the Milwaukee Brewers front office. In terms of injury news, we have actually had quite a lot of big injuries coming at the Major League Baseball teams the last couple weeks, and a lot that's really been developing over the last few days. The New York Yankees have already been devastated in the injury department. They lost Luis Severino for the year due to Tommy John surgery. What started off with just a little bit of soreness ended up being, of course, the worst case scenario. He's going to miss all of the 2020 season, and he's going to miss a good chunk of the 2021 season. Going to be a while till you see see Luis Severino back healthy pitching with the New York Yankees, which is a shame because he's obviously a very talented pitcher. As much as I dislike the Yankees, I don't want to see them be bad because of their young stars getting hurt. I just want to see them be bad because they're losing. But you don't want to see the young stars of the game getting hurt. That's not good for baseball. That's not good for anybody. Feel bad for Luis Severino. And then it gets added on even more because right now, Giancarlo Stanton not looking good for opening day. Really hasn't done much this spring, and Aaron Judge is on the same path. Judge has been having discomfort in his right pectoral muscle for pretty much all of spring training. What started off as not a big issue, something that was just minor that they needed to stretch out or get him more comfortable, get him back in the rhythm, has now turned into something that he is getting monitored daily to make sure that this doesn't get elevated or escalated even more than it already is. To me, as a Met fan, having seen injuries throughout the year and just a fan of baseball, this just seems like something that's going to be lingering all season, which again is unfortunate because Aaron Judge is one of the young stars in baseball. When he's on the field, he's one of the best in the game, but it doesn't seem like right now he has the ability to stay healthy on the field for a full season, and this is just adding on to it. When you're that big, when you're that strong, when you're doing that much movement at that much force, there's obviously more risk for him to get hurt. I think that's kind of what you're seeing a little bit here, and I think it's something that we're seeing around all of baseball. Yes, lifting and getting stronger is always great, but it seems like as we see guys trying to get stronger and bigger, instead of trying to just like stay in shape, maybe stretch a little bit more, you're seeing a little bit more and more of these nagging injuries, which then adds on to the next injury for the Yankees, Giancarlo Stanton. He's recovering from a grade 1 calf strain in his right calf. He's not going to be ready for opening day. Again, just adding to the list of lingering injuries that's going to be bothering the Yankees players for the entire season. If they're healthy, they have one of the better teams in baseball, but right now Severino's gone. That's a huge killer to their rotation because now you move all the other guys up. James Paxton's going to be hurt for quite some time. That moves other guys up. This team that was really looking like complete and set right now is kind of in a little bit of disarray, and we're only in what, the second day of March right now. There's a lot of time before opening day happens, and I think that it's not crazy to think that these guys could recover a lot quicker, but if you're the Yankees, I don't blame you if you're taking it slow. Opening day is not when you win the season. You need them for the full year if possible. If you're a Yankee fan, you shouldn't be upset that they're taking it cautiously, but I can understand some frustration with the fact that the Yankee players are just getting hurt like the Mets did a few years ago. They hire Ray Ramirez or something? What's going on there? Staying in the American League East, we have some bad injury news for the Boston Red Sox. That's involving Chris Sale, who I don't like how it's sounding. To me, it sounds like there's going to be some Tommy John surgery, because whenever you get MRIs for discomfort in your arm and it gets sent to Dr. James Andrews, it seems like normally it ends with Tommy John. Now, Chris Sale ended the 2019 season early last year. He wasn't having a good year, but part of the reason why was due to discomfort in his left elbow. He was feeling a little bit sore. I feel like that would have sounded the alarms that there was something going wrong. I don't necessarily remember exactly what happened, but I guess they deemed that he was going to be fine and he'll be better after some rest. Well, he comes to spring training and he still has this lingering injury, still feels discomfort. They sent him for an MRI, like I said, to Dr. James Andrews. They're waiting to hear back the results. To me, this doesn't sound good. Anytime you have discomfort in your throwing elbow, right around here, that sounds like you're going to be going under the needle to me, or going under the knife, I should say. That's the phrase. I don't want any of these guys to get hurt, obviously, but it seems like that's where Chris Sale is headed right now, and that's unfortunate because the Red Sox rotation, not looking great, although Nathan Eovaldi looks fantastic. That's a positive. But the rest of that rotation, definitely weak. They need Chris Sale if they want to even remotely try to be a playoff team. If not, it's going to be an uphill battle for sure. And then just some miscellaneous news, some random stuff that I want to talk about in today's video. Yasiel Puig is still not signed going into the month of March. I don't think any of us expected this. He's a very solid player, not one of the best in the league, borderline all-star when he's at his best, but I don't think anyone expected him to not be able to find a contract. It's very confusing. How have the Indians not come back to Yasiel Puig and tried to offer him anything? They have no outfielders. Do you know who starts out there? It's Oscar Mercado, like Jordan Luplow, Jake Bowers. I mean, just a ragtag bunch of dudes. Mercado's legitimate, but everybody else doesn't really fit there. How have they not contacted Yasiel Puig? Maybe they have, but how is there not like a one-year, $10 million scenario where Yasiel Puig takes that contract, a team offers it to him? Obviously, I'm not in these conversations. I'm not in the negotiations. I don't know how much Yasiel Puig's really asking for. Maybe he's asking for a crazy amount, but I'm still shocked as of March 2nd, 2020, Yasiel Puig is still not signed to a team. Maybe the Yankees go after him? If this Stanton or Judge injury is serious, maybe just throw a little bit of money at Yasiel Puig. I'm sure he would be pretty good for the Yankees, especially in that ballpark. It's definitely one of the more confusing things of this offseason. I know it took a while for guys to get signed last year. This offseason, everybody moves so quickly, except Yasiel Puig. So that's pretty much all there is to cover in baseball news right now. I got some videos in the works because I will be in Arizona from Thursday. I'm leaving Thursday and I'm leaving on the 10th, I think. So I got like 5 or 6 days there in Arizona. Need to prepare some videos there, but definitely going to have some spring training content at you. Definitely going to have some in real life baseball content coming at you. Going to be a lot going on in the next few weeks. As always, I'd love to know your opinion on anything we talked about down in the comment section below in today's video, as well as leaving a like and subscribing to the channel if you have not yet done so. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. Always talking baseball over there. And I think that's where where I'll wrap up today's video. You guys know the drill. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here, as well as this is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do appreciate you, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for another baseball video. Bye.